meeting is now in session. The Honorable Mayor Jeff Mason presiding.
Welcome, and thank everybody for coming out on this cold and rainy and yucky night. I told somebody today I'd rather be 100 degrees than what it is, but here we are, and it's November. But we will start with prayer. I have a few prayer requests before I ask Mr. Jimmy Winfrey to open us in prayer, but Mr. Dennis Hackett's mother, he's not with us tonight. He had to take her to the hospital, so remember her. Continue to remember Steve Coble as he's going through rehab with his feet. He is home again with the cast off and pretty much immobilized, so I'm sure he's a pleasure to deal with. And Miss Norma Mitchell's mother had a heart attack, so remember her. And if there's any other prayer requests that I've not known. Mr. Jimmy, would you lead us in prayer?
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for today, Lord, for all the ways you've blessed us at this time of the year, Lord. We thank you especially for what you've done for our county, for the people. We just give you the praise for all the ways that you've blessed us, and we just pray, Lord, that you would continue to bless us. We pray tonight for these that have been mentioned, Lord, in the prayer request. We just pray that you would be with each situation. You know the problem, Lord, and you have the answer. We just pray that you would have your will in each one that was mentioned. Be with us tonight as we conduct the county's business. Help us to be good stewards of the county's money. We just pray that you'd give us the knowledge and wisdom that we need to make good decisions, not only tonight, but every time that we're together. Thank you again. We just pray that you forgive us where we fail. In Christ's name we pray.
Amen. I've asked Miss Erica Ebel to lead us in her pledge. She is a veteran, and we want to thank her for her service. And Miss Erica.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Miss Stacy, will you do our roll call?
Sure. Jason Powell.
Here.
Glenn Reese.
Here.
Terry Givens.
Here.
Billy Bass.
Here.
Greta Kirby.
Here.
Jason Stewart.
Here.
Jimmy Winfrey. Daniel Cripps.
Here.
Dalton Pascal.
Here.
Shannon Minchie.
Here.
Erica Ebel.
Here.
Ron Shoemake.
Here.
Ron Cowan.
Here.
Linda Nixon.
Here.
Kobe McKinney.
Here.
Barbara Knappel.
Here.
Charles Kent.
Here.
Bill Reese.
Here.
Tommy Bain.
Here.
Joey Nixon.
Here.
Thomas Gibbs.
Here.
David Gross.
Here.
Frank Woodard. 23 present.
23 present. Okay. At this time, and you know we've had a special call meeting, our special meeting tonight. We moved it from Monday night because of Veterans Day, and at this time we would like to observe a moment of silence for our veterans. And I say again, thank you to all our veterans that have served and are continuing to serve. Item number 6 is an information talking about the history of Veterans Day. And World War I was known as the Great War, and it officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919 in the Palace of Versailles outside the town of Versailles, France. However, fighting ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice or temporary cessation of hostilities between the Allied nations and Germany went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11th, 1918 is generally regarded as the end of the war to end all wars. In November 1919, President Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day with the following words: "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service and gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of the nation. The original concept of the celebration was for a day observed with parades and public meetings and a brief suspension of business beginning at 11 a.m. All right, item number 7 will be the approval of the minutes of the September 10th, 2018 commission meetings. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes that you have for your review? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Glenn Reese with the motion. Second.
Second.
Second, Shannon Meachie. I have a motion and a second to approve the meetings. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8 is a special presentation. Mr. Brandon Bellin, would you come here just a second? Mr. Brandon Bellin has served as the Smith County Attorney since 2014. During his time, he has worked tirelessly and selflessly, as well as contributed to the well-being and growth of Smith County. Today, I present this plaque to him as a thank you and appreciation to all his hard work and dedication he has contributed not only to Smith County government, but the entire community. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Brandon. He has been, in the first 2 months, he's been awesome, and I wouldn't want to do it without him. He's been great. He's talked me off ledges and told me what I can and can't do. So, thank you for that. Item number 10, Mr. Charlie Curtis is with us tonight, and we've asked him to come and just give us some words for our new county commissioners, and we thank you, Mr. Curtis.
Where you want me to speak from?
Wherever you feel comfortable, sir.
Well, he's up here, but I've been looking at my eye. Many of them I can.
I've heard you.
Turn my back on what?
I've heard you speak, and you like me. You can talk anywhere.
Yeah, Stacy called me and asked me to come, and then I agreed to the date, and then I called her back Friday and said, "What exactly do you want me to talk about?" She said, "I want you to sort of tell them what County Commissioners Association does for y'all." And I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I noticed some of these packets are pretty thick. But this organization, County Commissioners Association, started in 1969. And back then it was a Tennessee Magistrates Association. A little history, go back on history a little bit. Up until 78, county commissioners were known as justices of the peace, or magistrates. They actually had some judicial authority. When somebody got arrested, they took them to a magistrate and settled up with them and decided what they was going to do with them. But we had a constitutional convention in 77, and they decided to restructure county government. And those justices of the peace, they got elected to 6-year terms. So in 78, when I got ratified, you became county commissioners, and you got a 4-year term. You do not have any judicial authority. The only thing that hangs on from that judicial authority, each one of you got the right to marry somebody. And I ain't talking about just your wife, I'm talking about you marrying another couple. But in my career, I was elected to the county legislative body in 82, and they were already commissioners, and they've been that way for 4 years. But this organization was put together to give county commissions technical support, how to be more efficient on county government. And I've got my hands full. There's 1,637 of y'all. In 1973, the General Assembly created CTAS, County Technical Assistance Service, which is a branch or it's managed by the University of Tennessee. And Ben Rogers is your technical assistant here. He's got 15 counties. Well, there's not any way he can answer the phone every single time one of y'all calls, because he's in more than 15 counties. He's got hundreds of people. Although I've got 1,600 something, thank God all of you don't call me at the same time. But if you're needing technical support and you can't get a hold of Ben, call me. I'm going to answer it or I'm going to call you right back. And I'll either know the answer or I don't know where to go get it. But the most important thing for me is that you're not concerned about calling me. I know most of you got my number, but those of you don't, I'll leave some cards here. But I wanted to just mention a couple things and I'll wrap up. We've got actually 5 committees that you don't have to be appointed to. You just have to say, I want to serve on that committee. And you can actually email me and tell me you're interested in a particular committee. County Commissioners Association has 4 committees you can get on. The most active committee is Governmental Affairs. Governmental Affairs will come to Nashville late February, or early March, and every piece of legislation that the legislature has filed, I'll have read through it, and I'll pick out everything that's either going to help or hurt county government. That committee will come to Nashville, they'll go through them, and they'll vote them up or down, whether we're going to support them or we're going to oppose them. We go one more level, either going to strongly support it or strongly oppose it. So there's 4 categories they put them in that way, then they got a 5th category to monitor. Sometimes a bill, it's not clear what it's going to do. They're going to amend it, and so they say, well, this is in this section of the code, we want you to keep an eye on it and let us know when they amend it, because it may do something we like or dislike. The next committee is Membership Committee. It's about getting people involved. We've got a Veterans Committee. How many veterans we got in here tonight? Hold your hand up. Thank you for your service to our country. But Veterans Committee is very active because last year, every single bill that was filed for veterans, this group voted to support it. I was over there helping trying to get them passed. Then we have a Transportation Committee that deals with anything that's dealing with our road funding, things of that nature. County Services and County Commissioners have got a joint education committee. That means the mayors and the commissioners serve together on the education committee. There's a lot of interest in that. So you can volunteer to serve on that committee. We just finished our fall conference in Chattanooga. We're fixing to start a joint committee on corrections. Not on the penal system, but on your jail and things of that nature. And that's going to be a committee there's going to be some interest on, and you can volunteer on that. And the initiatives that we got going on right now is the sheriff will be aware of this. The board bill right now, you get paid for state prisoners once they're sentenced. Well, you may keep one in your jail from the time they're arrested to the time they're convicted. And then sentenced, they may have over a year in your local jail, and the judge may give them time served. And they're free as a bird, and you don't get a dime out of it. You fed them and clothed them that whole year. Well, we're going to try to get it where you get paid from the day that they're convicted. That's what we've been working on for the last few years, and that's what we're going to continue to work on. We want that to start at the time of conviction. We also, right now, the reimbursement rate is $39 a day. We want the reimbursement rate to really be on what it actually costs. You can't keep prisoners for $39 and do their medical and stuff. You know, if it's a major medical, the state's going to pay for it. But if it's not, you're going to eat it. So we're trying to work on that. We always oppose unfunded mandates. When the legislature's sending something out that says that you've got to do it, but they're not going to give you money to do it, we try to keep all you informed so you can let your state representative and your state senator know you don't want that. That's the way we fight. That's the way you can help and work in that. And the last one we're working on is the remote sales tax. You know, Supreme Court's rule now that we can collect the remote sales tax. That's when somebody orders something off the internet and shipped here, and they don't have a business in Tennessee, we can still collect that sales tax. We've been collecting it for a few years, a couple of years now, and they're dividing it out between the cities and the counties just like they do the situs-based tax. And when I say situs-based, that means if there's a grocery store inside Carthage, their sales tax, the first half of it goes to Carthage, the last half goes to the Smith County education system. That's where it ultimately goes. If it's a store out in the county, the first half of the sales tax goes to the county, the first half goes to education, the second half goes to the county. Well, the city is the economic engine. I know we got a mayor here tonight. The city is the economic engine of this county. Because generally they got the infrastructure for businesses to come in and set up and conduct business, so they get a portion of that sales tax. But on remote sales tax that's being brought in here from out of state, it's got nothing to do with the infrastructure. All you got to have is a phone or a computer to make that order. We're arguing that money needs to go back to where the purchaser lives. If it's a person who lives inside the city, that money, that sales tax ought to go to the education system in that city. If it's a citizen out in the county that's buying it, sales tax ought to go to the county and the school system. But that's an issue that's coming up this year, and we'll probably be fighting for the next couple of years. But we're not trying to take a disproportionate share, we're just trying to make sure it's spread out fairly. Actually fairly is what I meant to say. But the most important message I'm gonna give y'all tonight, if I can ever help any of you, don't hesitate to call me. There's my phone numbers. I'm gonna send out, once the legislature gets in town, I'll be sending, all of you that have emails or access to email, I'll be sending you a weekly report every Friday. I'll be sending you a report telling you every bill that's gonna be active the next week. That way you can call Terry Lynn or Senator Pody and tell them what you think about those particular pieces of legislation. But I'll keep you as informed as I can. Any questions on anything? I'll hush and let y'all get back to work. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming.
God bless all of you. Y'all
Thank
have
you.
a wonderful evening.
Item number 10 is the discussion of a new mail addresses for all county commissioners. I'm gonna let Miss Stacy talk on that. She's the admin of the email addresses.
They have all been created and assigned, so it is live at this current moment. It's all kind of the same format. It's the first letter of your first name and all of your last name at smithcountykn.gov, and we are planning on using that email address going forward for the next county commission packet in January. So if you, at all possible, please within the next week, log on, see if there's any issues at all. If there are, give me a call. We'll walk through it, find out the answer to it, and then come January, all commission packets will be sent to that email instead of the email that you already have turned in. Paper copies will be available at your request if you would like one. Just give me about an hour heads up and I will have one ready for you. But as of right now, moving forward, that's how you will be receiving your commission packets. So, any questions? Tommy?
Why are we going to the new email address? What's wrong with those?
Brandon, yeah. I think
it was going to be a lot easier so that we all had the same format. But this, I'm not 100% sure.
one of the things that I was told early, and Brandon can answer to this, it protects you, Tommy.
Okay.
Any county business that's done through that county email address is county business. If there was something happen, and God forbid they had to go back and seize all our emails, they could see every email you sent. Is that
Public records issue that you have a lot of times, so when you've got an email address that's designated specifically for county use, those emails can be used for, under open records purposes, so it would be strictly used for county purposes. Anything that's on that is subject to possibly being requested. That way you're avoiding using your private emails, that way you don't ever get into an issue with that, okay?
Okay. The only thing was, it just didn't work very well. My open works good, and even didn't work.
I'm just telling you the law,
No,
I'm not the IT man,
That's
sorry.
my complaint.
well? If you got a problem with that, then we can fix that issue.
Also, in addition to your county commission packets, anytime a letter or an invitation or anything regarding the county is sent out, it will also go to that email address. So.
And moving forward with the way the world changes, this is a new way of kind of just trying to stay with the times. I mean, my end all be all goal would be every one of us sitting right here to have an iPad where we don't print these out anymore. You've got an iPad, we've got it on a big screen here and you can see it. And you know, Joey uses one now with a stylus and makes his notes on it. And it's just something for a number one, cost savings on paper and basically trying to get with the new technologies and exploring those things.
But now, you don't have to specifically go into that email address and check your email, right? You don't automatically get it on the contact.
Automatically get it on your iPad.
No,
If you have it set up on your iPad at home as an email, yes.
it will, so it will automatically.
Yes. You just have to set up an account And that may be a question that we get our admin, that Stacy can help you do.
What if you ain't got a computer?
Well, we're gonna get you an iPad someday, maybe.
Like
Stacy, you mentioned about the letters, does that mean we're not gonna be notified by mail?
No, you will.
No, we're
But
not shutting it off.
if, say, we were having a dedication of some sort, not only would you be getting an email, a letter in the mail, but you'll also be receiving an email just to kind of double check yourself, because mail gets lost every day. So just as a double precaution, you'll also be getting an email about the same event.
And we're nowhere near ready to go full paperless. So don't be scared that March you're going to have your own, because it's just something that we've kicked around and looked at and would love to get to one day. And it may be the fact that nobody wants to go that way, and we can carry on the way we are, and that's fine either way. I'm just trying to think of new and better ways of doing things. Yes, sir, Mr. Gross.
Well, Mayor, one thing you and I talked about when, back in the summer, when we were campaigning, I think you and I were in the same situation where we don't have landline.
Right.
Internet. I have to have satellite, and if it's raining or whatever,
Right.
you might as well put it on a turtle's back and sit down the drive.
That's right.
It's about how quick it is.
Absolutely, I agree.
Are we anywhere closer to getting landline internet? I mean, the situation that I'm in, I'm a mile from Comcast, I'm a mile and a half from Twin Lakes, and I'm in a dead zone.
Okay.
Where I don't
Yeah.
have
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I can give you a quick update on this. Of course, North Central's already broke ground on their new fiber in the Dixon Springs, Riddleton area. DTC is working Plunkett's Creek, Rawls Creek. That was done before I was elected, so. But they're working down there, and they called me last week, and Kenny's Bend, Lock 7, Lost Creek, that area is the next on their list for grants. I gathered Shannon with Shannon's help and Erica's and everybody's help down in that area. We gathered a bunch of letters to turn into them. They asked us to get letters supposing that. So that's next on DTC's. I know Twin Lakes, I sent them, they asked me for a letter a couple weeks ago. They are expanding the Chestnut Mound, that area, so you may be next on line for that. I don't know the full extent of that one, but yes, it's been worked on, and we've got to do a better job of getting broadband to our companies, our citizens, because of the way the world is today with our students. And you know, they were talking tonight at the school board about being 1-to-1 on Chromebooks. Well, a lot of this stuff is done at home, and I know with my daughters it's kind of a frustration because they're having to come back to town, and I have the same internet you do. It's satellite, and it's terrible. And you know, we fought water was the big thing in the 80s, getting water to the county, and I think broadband is probably the next thing on the horizon to try to get for all our citizens.
Are you talking about HughesNet?
Yeah.
Well, I've got HughesNet, and mine runs pretty much through the rain and everything else.
Just slow.
Well, a little bit,
Yeah.
At least it doesn't cut me off.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Well, and to add to the email deal, as soon as I got it, I set it straight up on my cell phone.
Yeah.
90% of us have a smartphone, and I'm sitting here looking at the agenda over that email on my cell phone right now. So it's not necessarily saying that you have to be at a home computer
Right.
on an internet service.
Right.
If you have a smartphone, you set it up right there, you get a notification sent straight to your phone, just like a text message saying, I've got an email from the Smith County government.
Yeah.
But in a situation like that, Jason, I've got the smartphone too, but where I live over in Sullivan Bend, I can send text message, but I can't make a phone call over it, because I don't have a cell service.
No.
So, you know, it's gonna be a.
We're working, yeah.
situation.
They're working to get that solved, hopefully. I don't know that we'll ever get good cell service, but maybe we can get broadband. So, any other questions or concerns about the new email process? All right. Items 11 through 16 are presentations of committee meetings. Are there any additions or corrections need to be made to those? If not, those are just presentation items.
On the budget finance meeting, my name needs to be added.
Okay.
Dave, you got that?
I did, I got a printed copy
Okay, so that's been took care of. Anything else?
My name is spelled wrong.
Okay. Daisy, which one do you know?
I think I've already got the corrections made, and so they'll be presented in next month's meeting, or January's meeting.
Okay. Any other? All right, items 17 through 21 are presentation letters of approval for loan amounts that we took care of. It's already done. That's just a presentation for your information. Any questions on those? Item 22 is a request of approval for the lease of 2 backhoes for the Highway Department. And this was done at the last Roads and Bridges Committee, and they, if I'm not correct, Tommy, that was approved and to be presented to us tonight, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are there any questions on that? If not, I'll take a motion to approve that, the purchase of the.
Second.
That was David a motion and Thomas second. All right. Stacy, we'll do a roll call.
Jason Powell,
Yes.
Glenn Reese,
Yes.
Terry Givens,
Yes.
Billy Bass,
Yes.
Greta Kirby,
Yes.
Jason Stewart,
Yes.
Jimmy Winfrey,
Yes.
Daniel Cripps, Dalton Pascal,
Yes.
Shannon Minchie,
Yes.
Erica Ebel,
Yes.
Ron Shoemake,
Yes.
Ron Cowan,
Yes.
Linda Nixon,
Yes.
Colby McKinney,
Yes.
Barbara Knappel,
Yes.
Charles Kent,
Yes.
Bill Reese,
Yes.
Tommy Vane,
Yes.
Joey Nixon,
Yes.
Thomas Gibbs,
Yes.
David Gross,
Yes.
Frank Woodard.
Yes.
Unanimous decision. Motion's approved. Items 23 and 24 are the quarterly financial statement from the Smith County Finance Department and the Smith County Director of
I had one thing that Steve wanted me to bring up
Okay.
for the highway department. He wanted me to interject since it wasn't on the agenda.
Can we do?
Can we do that?
We can't.
Okay. I didn't think so, but he wanted me to check something.
Yes, ma'am. But if you or Steve want, we'll get with me. We'll get it on the next one.
Okay.
Okay. Again, items 23 and 24 are quarterly financial statements from the Finance Department and also from the Director of Schools. We can combine those for your approval, or we can pull them out and vote them, or approve them separately. If no one wants to pull them apart, we'll combine them. And I'll take a motion to approve those financial statements.
Motion approved.
Who was?
Second.
All right, Jason Stewart was second. Who? Thomas was first. Okay. All those in favor, make it known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And I'll say thank you to Miss Daisy and Miss Norma for getting these done. They do a great job on getting this for us, and I'm greatly appreciative of the work they put in on these numbers. Item number 25 is the trustee CD bid opening, and that is just a presentation for you. There's no action. Item number 26 is the approval of the State of Tennessee County of Smith official statutory bond for county public officials, Office of Smith County Clerk and Master Bond Thomas Dillahay.
That was one of the handouts.
Yeah, you received a handout tonight with that bond on it.
This one.
As an addition to tonight's agenda, we got that done today. Good job, Stacy, getting that at the last minute. She was running around trying to get that signed, so she did good and got that done. I will take if there's any questions on that, it's a pretty standard bond. If not, I would take a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Ron, second. that you, Jason? Okay.
Jason Powell.
Uh-huh. And I have this wrote down as a roll call vote.
Jason Powell,
Yes.
Glenn Reese.
Yes.
Terry Gibbons,
Yes.
Billy Bass,
Yes.
Greta Kirby,
Yes.
Jason Stewart,
Yes.
Jimmy Winfrey,
Yes.
Daniel Cripps,
Yes.
Dalton Pascal,
Yes.
Shannon Minchie,
Yes.
Erica Ebel,
Yes.
Ron Schumake,
Yes.
Ron Cowan,
Yes.
Linda Nixon,
Yes.
Kobe McKinney,
Yes.
Barbara Knappel,
Yes.
Charles Kent,
Yes.
Bill Reese,
Yes.
Tommy Bain,
Yes.
Joey Nixon,
Yes.
Thomas Gibbs,
Yes.
David Gross,
Yes.
Frank Woodard,
Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 27 is approval of a State of Tennessee, County of Smith official statutory bond for county public officials.
that's how you pronounce his name.
Okay. For county public officials, Office of Smith County Clerk and Office of Second Deputy Trustee, Charles
Degg.
Degg or just Degg?
Degg.
Charles Degg, sorry. Any questions on that bond? If not, motion Joey Nixon. Second Kobe. Roll call, Stacy.
Jason Powell,
Yes.
Glenn Reese,
Yes.
Terry Givens,
Yes.
Billy Bass,
Yes.
Greta Kirby,
Yes.
Jason Stewart,
Yes.
Jimmy Winfrey,
Yes.
Daniel Cripps,
Yes.
Dalton Pascal,
Yes.
Shannon Minchie,
Yes.
Erica Ebel,
Yes.
Ron Schumake,
Yes.
Ron Cowan,
Yes.
Linda Nixon,
Yes.
Kobe McKinney,
Yes.
Barbara Knappel,
Yes.
Charles Kent,
Yes.
Bill Reese,
Yes.
Tommy Bain,
Yes.
Joey Nixon,
Yes.
Thomas Gibbs,
Yes.
David Gross,
Yes.
Frank Woodard.
Motion passes. Item number 28 is the approval letter of the fiscal year 2019 budget. That is just a presentation item, and want to say thank you to Daisy and her crew and everybody that worked on last year's budget to get it done and approved, and you guys that were here and voted to approve it, and we thank you for that. Item number 29 is resolution number 11, 2018-01, and it is budget amendments to the General Fund 101. You have that in your packet. Any questions or on that? If not, I'll take a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Tommy,
Second.
second Miss Linda. We'll do roll call, Stacy.
Jason Powell,
Yes.
Glenn Reese,
Yes.
Terry Gibbons,
Yes.
Billy Bass,
Yes.
Greta Kirby,
Yes.
Jason Stewart,
Yes.
Jimmy Winfrey,
Yes.
Daniel Cripps, Dalton Pascal,
Yes.
Shannon Minchie,
Yes.
Erica Ebel,
Yes.
Ron Schumake,
Yes.
Ron Cowan,
Yes.
Linda Nixon,
Yes.
Kobe McKinney,
Yes.
Barbara Knappel,
Yes.
Charles Kent,
Yes.
Bill Reese,
Yes.
Tommy Bain,
Yes.
Joey Nixon,
Yes.
Thomas Gibbs,
Yes.
David Gross,
Yes.
Frank Woodard.
Yes.
Unanimously passed, thank you. Item number 30 is other business from the Budget and Finance Committee held prior to this meeting. Daisy, if you have any updates on that for us?
You should have resolution 4 and 5 as a handout. Resolution 4 is for the 151 fund, and resolution 5 is for the general fund. Can you explain
Do-
those? Resolution 4 for the 151 fund is, this is surplus equipment that was approved to be sold in last year's budget. And, the money was voted to be used to pay additional principal on the, for the 4 dump trucks that were bought for the highway department that are being paid for the general debt service. So we're just asking to, move that money from the fund balance into principal on those. And resolution 5 is for the sheriff's department, moving $9,900 into in-service training from the fund balance. This is costs that, were created by them being able to add people and send people for training. This is regarding 3 people for the SRO position. It's not those specific people being sent for training, but it's other people they had to send for other training to move people around to fill those positions.
Questions or discussion?
Just one comment, Mr. Chairman, both resolutions were passed unanimously in Budget and Finance. We don't have the meeting minutes for that, but we agreed to both.
Second.
Ms. Linda, Chaz?
For both of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Both of them. Roll call as well.
Jason Powell,
Yes.
Glenn Reese,
Yes.
Terry Givens,
Yes.
Billy Bass,
Yes.
Greta Kirby,
Yes.
Jason Stewart,
Yes.
Jimmy Winfrey,
Yes.
Daniel Cripps,
Yes.
Dalton Pascal,
Yes.
Shannon Minchie,
Yes.
Erica Evil,
Yes.
Ron Schumake,
Yes.
Ron Cowan,
Yes.
Linda Nixon,
Yes.
Kobe McKinney,
Yes.
Barbara Knappel,
Yes.
Charles Kent,
Yes.
Bill Reese,
Yes.
Tommy Bain,
Yes.
Joey Nixon,
Yes.
Thomas Gibbs,
Yes.
David Gross,
Yes.
Frank Woodard.
Yes.
Unanimously passed. Thank you, ma'am. All right, item number 32 is a resolution number 11, 2018-04, and it is the appointment of Michael F. Nesbitt as a Nashville Eastern Railroad Authority board member. Michael has served on that as mayor, and there is a position left when I took that position, and there was another position, and so they had asked that Michael stay on the board because he was so involved in it, and this is a approval of that.
I make a motion, we appoint Michael Nesbitt to the National Eastern Board of Railroad.
Second.
Kobe. Any discussion?
Who seconded?
Uh,
Joey.
Joey. All those in favor? Opposed? Item number 33 is a resolution number 11, 2018-06, and it is the approval of a multi-jurisdictional, 03, sorry. 03, approval of a multi-jurisdictional hazardous mitigation plan for Smith County. Mr. Sonny Carter is here if you have any questions about this or want anything like that, if not. Sonny, when you talked to me, it was something that we need to get passed to help us with our...
Yes, in order to be able to go for hazardous mitigation of grants, we've got to have a hazardous mitigation plan. And every 5 years, that plan has to be updated. When I took office as the MA director, I got in on the tail end of the hazardous mitigation plan. Since then, we have updated this plan 3 different times. In 08, in 13, and in 18. And like I say, in order to get hazardous mitigation grants, every county's got to have something like this. We met back in the summer, officials, sure, with Eugene, the city mayors, past county mayor, we all met. We had to have 3 meetings. Every 5 years, we have 3 meetings and go over these things that we determine is a potential danger to the public and also to eliminate any damage to the county. So we sat down, we went over this plan, we critiqued it, it sent to TEMA. TEMA then passed it on to FEMA. FEMA says, yes, it's a good plan. It's sent back to TEMA, and TEMA sent it back to us. Now we're here with the request that you adopt this resolution. Then it'll be sent back to FEMA for their stamp of approval. It'll be sent back to FEMA with their blessings, and then it comes off. That's it. And also, hazardous mitigation is no longer limited to a disaster. There's a plan now, and the mayor, myself, my DC, my district coordinator from FEMA, and Steve Coble went and viewed a site last week that this coming year, we can apply for hazardous mitigation funds to help maybe alleviate this problem. And each year, there's X number of dollars put into the state of Tennessee. And if there's anything that we want to address as we consider a potential hazard or something like that, we can go after these funds, not saying we'll get them, because it covers the whole state of Tennessee, and the funds are limited, but we do get our name in the hat, and we could be drawn, and it could be funds that will come to us that allow us to do the things that needs to be done. Used to, and it still is, just right now, just real quickly, if there's a disaster in the state of Tennessee, and the threshold is $9 million, and let's say Knoxville has a $10 million disaster, the governor declares a disaster, then we can piggyback off of that disaster and maybe get some things done here in this county, even though we may not have been affected directly to this situation, but we can piggyback off of that disaster and be able to maybe get some of those funds to help us alleviate some problems that we're facing here.
Thank you, Mr. Sonny.
Any questions?
If not, I'll take a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Chaz. Where was the second? David Grover. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. Next item is you have a list of notaries for your approval. I'll take a motion to approve all those.
So moved.
Bill, second, Glenn Reese. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That comes to the end of our business. I want to commend Stacy for getting these packets done. She and I set a goal when I came into office to do our very best to get you your packets at least a week in advance, just so we felt like we owed that to you, so you could read through, make decisions, ask questions, and have every information possible. And Stacy, I give her all the credit. She got it done, and I thank her for that. So, any other?
Pictures at the end.
Yes, we have a, don't nobody leave, we're gonna do our group photo at the end, and Stacy needs to see the jail and courthouse committee.
Miss Greta, too. She,
Miss Greta had something she wanted to bring for us.
All of us who did the education requirement back in August, I've been checking my account online to see if the credit has been given. It has not. And I've been a squeaky wheel with them. And today, I finally heard from them yet again, and Tanya has told me to apologize for the delay in getting the scores out. And she said that in 2 more weeks, they should be online. So we can hope. She never said what the holdup was. Just said she was sorry for the delay, but they would be posted.
Oh, one more thing. If any of you have committee minutes that you need to sign, please see me afterwards. Thank you.
Motion adjourned.
I have a motion to adjourn. Second by Chaz. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?